Patch 15.2 is here, bringing the first major changes to the new objectives and mechanics introduced this season. Riot's breaking balance across the board, Evelynn and Blue Kayn got buffed, and Master Yi's crit damage just got another boost. The new Domination runes, buff, Feats of Strength and Atakan are slightly changed, and Bloody Roses were adjusted as well, but we will get to that later. Hello everyone, my name is Forrest, and in this quick video we will break down all the jungle related patch notes from patch 15.2, but this isn't the first update of the season. 15.1 and its micro patch brought small adjustments. This is the first real shake-off for objectives and mechanics, and I can't wait to see more. Stick around because in the next video I will cover champion strength and the full jungle tier list. For now, let's focus on the changes that are reshaping the Rift. The first jungle buff in this patch went to Evelynn. Her E movement speed bonus got a 20% increase, and the AP ratio on her ultimate was also buffed. Now I know 20% might sound like a lot, but let's be real, this movement speed boost only lasts 2 seconds. It's not going to be a game changer. Evelynn has been struggling like most assassins this season, but AP assassins in the jungle in particular are having an even tougher time. And let's face it, there aren't that many AP assassins in the jungle to begin with. Even with these changes, Evelynn remains a weak champion with toxic design. Her win rate is currently sitting below 48%, and while these buffs might nudge it slightly above 48%, I don't see her becoming a strong pick. Honestly, I hope she doesn't become meta because her stat mechanic makes her incredibly frustrating to play against. Let's be real, no one likes Evelynn except for those who are one trick. In the end, this buff doesn't change much. Evelynn remains one of the worst jungle picks right now, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Master Yi got a small buff this patch, with his AD growth and E bonus AD ratio increased. Riot seems to want Crit Yi to work again, but on hit is still the better build. Even though Yunta got a buff and might seem some experimentation with crit and hero blades, on hit remains the best build. Here is the thing. If Yi becomes good enough to dominate in high ranks and we see challenger one tricks like scenarios taking over games, that's a massive red flag. It means Yi is way too strong in lower ranks and the nerf is inevitable. Riot is clearly trying to find a perfect balance for Yi, but honestly I don't think it's possible. A Fedmaster Yi isn't enjoyable for anyone to face no matter the rank. Blue Kayn got a buff to his passive damage, going from 15% to 25%, scaling up to 45% like before. I honestly don't understand why Riot thinks buffing assassins this way is the right move, and why start with the one of the most toxic ones. Blue Kayn's E mechanic is straight up unhealthy. Being able to travel anywhere in just 2 seconds, especially with Yumus, is ridiculous. Pair that with his W, which either deletes half of your health or does nothing, and there's almost no room to outplay him. If he is fed, good luck. Red Kayn has his issues too, but I would take facing Red Kayn over Blue any day. That said, this buff probably won't change much. Blue Kayn will still be weak, while Red Kayn remains a solid pick. Instead of buffing individual assassins, Riot should focus on lethality item changes. AP assassins also need some item adjustments, but overall may just seem fine. These are just my honest thoughts on the patch, but don't expect Blue Kayn to suddenly become viable. I'm honestly surprised that Riot left champions like Wukong and Viego untouched in this patch. We didn't get any jungle championers, even though these two in particular feel problematic enough to deserve adjustments. But let's talk about the Domination runes, which also impact jungle, not just laners. These runes were introduced last patch and they have already received some buffs. Grizzly Mementos, the middle rune in the row, got a small buff. Trinket haste increased from 4 to 6, and now you need 18 stacks instead of 25, giving you more haste overall. This is my favorite rune on Rage, but it's great for any assassin jungler or mid laner. If you are unsure what to pick, go with this. It's the safest and most reliable option. I will cover the best Grace runes and builds in another video. Default also got buffed. Trinket duration increased, making it amazing for high elo players and supports, where vision control is critical. In high ranks, deeper wards are essential for tracking enemies, and this rune fits right into that playstyle. That said, if you're below Master Plus, you can probably skip this one. Sixth Sense is the last rune, and while it got buffed with separate cooldowns for melee and ranged champs, I still don't think it's a good choice. This rune feels unhealthy for the game. It's either going to be too strong and overpicked or too weak and ignored. Right now it leans towards useless, but I wouldn't be surprised if Riot buffs it again, pushing it into must-pick territory. It's just one of those ideas that feels rushed and will likely need a rework or removal in the future. Since I have covered the runes, let's talk about the item changes real quick before before diving into Atakan's Feast of Strength and Bloody Roses. Because trust me, the end of this video will focus on how frustrated I am with these new mechanics, and Riot's balancing approach is turning the game into a big mess that's less enjoyable for everyone. Now on to the item changes. Lord Dominic Rewards and Mortal Reminder both had their price increases by 100 gold, but they now offer an extra 5% armor pen. Both items are solid picks, but let me say this loud and clear: don't buy Mortal Reminder unless the enemy team has healing. LDR offers better value almost every time. However, if the enemy team has heavy healing, the Mortal Reminder becomes a great option. Just don't waste gold on it unnecessarily when LDR is usually the superior pick. Let's start with the Feats of Strength changes from the previous patch. Previously, the team that got first blood earned the first stack out of 3. Riot has now updated this mechanic, and honestly this is the only good change they have made to the new systems. Instead of rewarding first blood, the first stack now goes to the team that secures the first 3 kills. This is a massive improvement. I know how frustrating it was when your teammates would die first every game, essentially handing the enemy team an early advantage. With this update it feels much better, it's less toxic while still rewarding good jungling. If you can impact lanes early and help secure those first 3 kills for your team, you will be rewarded. Blood Roses got nerfed this patch with both the base XP and adaptive force reduced. Honestly, this feels like yet another rushed mechanic Riot wanted to shove into the game alongside Atakan. Like I said earlier, with the Rune changes, it's either too important, forcing everyone to collect these small roses, or it's too weak and no one cares about it. Right now, it's leaning towards the latter. If no one cares about it, we are essentially back to the previous season where this didn't exist at all. It feels like it was added just to say it's there, not because it improves gameplay. This mechanic isn't good, and I'm not a fan. Expect more changes down the line, or Riot might just remove it when next season starts with a new team. But my bigger concern is Riot making this a trend, adding some unnecessary, poorly balanced mechanic every season just to match the Rift's team. If that's their plan, we are going to spend entire splits dealing with broken or useless additions they will struggle to balance. Voracious Atakan is the last jungle change for this patch, and it received 2 updates. If you are unsure which version I'm talking about, it's the one that grants a free Guardian Angel. Let's start with the first change. The spawn rate has increased from 15% to 25%, and honestly I already don't like this. It feels unnecessarily complicated. Why not just make it 50-50 chance, keeping it simpler and random, like dragons? The side spawns on already feels random enough, so adding a 25% chance to its appearance make the mechanic feel overcomplicated for no reason. I suspect Riot is using this low spawn rate to match just how broken and unhealthy this monster is for the game. A free Guardian Angel for the entire team is absurd. Does anyone else feels like this is giving a Chamtak Soul flashbacks? No one liked that season. It was toxic, broken and unbalanced, and Riot had to remove it because they couldn't fix it. Riot, please revert this mechanic. I get that it has a cooldown, and yes, the other change is that now it gives 200 gold for the kill instead of 100, but this is not enough. The combination of a free GA and teleport makes it worse. Imagine dying in a teamfight and then just teleporting back immediately. It's ridiculous and shouldn't exist in the game. The worst part, this was predictable. It was clear how problematic this would be even before it released. Yet somehow Riot either didn't consult high-elo players or choose to ignore the feedback. They have dismissed concerns as overreactions, but this isn't one of those times. Maybe people overreacted about small changes like the boots upgrade, but this mechanic is just objectively bad game design. Anyway, that's my rant and breakdown of patch 15.2 for the jungle this season. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to cover Swift play in these videos, or if you would like to see more jungle patch breakdowns like this one. Thanks so much for watching, stay safe, and as always I will see you in the next one.